As always, it is so great to be here with you. You know, I never say this, but it's truly such an honor to be here to share these recipes with you, and hopefully they bring a little piece of Spain into your life and some joy into your kitchen. Anyways, today we have another classic Spanish recipe, this time from the beautiful region of Andaluza in the south of Spain. We are talking a Spanish spinach and chickpea stew. This dish is known here in Spain as un potaje de garbanzos y espinacas a la Andaluza, and let me tell you, it's got so many beautiful flavors. It's literally so easy to put together, and it's done in just 30 minutes, folks. This is the kind of food you should be eating, and I'll tell you why. First, it's made with heart-healthy ingredients. 2, it's gonna warm your soul, and 3, which is the most important, it's gonna fill your body with so much goodness. Let's begin by making the thickener first for the stew. I'm gonna grab a large fry pan. You can also use a stock pot here. Heat it with a medium heat, and add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 30 milliliters. While the olive oil is heating, I'm going to grab 10 blanched almonds. The almonds that I'm using are Marcona almonds. If you have an allergy to nuts, you can replace the almonds for 2 slices of baguette that are 1/2 inch thick, which is about 1 1/4 centimeters. And we'll remove the skins from 3 cloves of garlic. After heating the olive oil for about 2 minutes, I'm going to add in the cloves of garlic and the blanched almonds. And we'll mix the garlic and almonds around with the olive oil. Very important to mix this continuously, as these ingredients can easily brown, which gives them a bitter flavor. By mixing it continuously, it ensures they're not going to brown too quickly and they all evenly saute. After about 3 minutes, and the cloves of garlic and the almonds have a light golden brown color to them, you don't want to brown them too much. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat and transfer the almonds and the garlic into a mortar. If you don't have a mortar for this step, you can also use a food processor. Then I'm going to grab a generous handful of fresh parsley, finely chop it, and add in 2 tablespoons of the finely chopped parsley into the mortar, which is about 8 grams. We'll lightly season with a little sea salt, and using a pestle, pound down on the ingredients until you form a paste. Now, using the same fry pan, I'm going to heat it with a medium heat again. While the olive oil is reheating in the pan, I'm going to roughly dice 1 medium-sized onion. Once the onion has been diced, I'm going to add it into the pan with the olive oil. And start mixing the onion around with the olive oil. Once again, I like to mix this continuously, that way the onion doesn't brown too quickly and it all evenly sautés. After about 4 minutes, and the onion is nice and translucent and lightly sauteed, you don't want to brown it too much, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.30 grams, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin, which is 1 gram. We'll give it a quick mix, that way those spices are evenly coating the onions. And then we'll add in 1 tablespoon of sherry vinegar, which is 15 milliliters. The vinegar here is a secret weapon to the stew and what really gives it that incredible explosion of flavors. And we'll also add in 1/2 cup of tomato sauce, which is 115 grams. And we'll give it a mix and simmer the tomato sauce for a couple minutes. Now, the tomato sauce that I'm using, for those of you that follow me here on Spain on a Fork, you know that I make it by finely grating fresh tomatoes, but as always, you can also use canned tomato sauce or even passata to make this recipe. After about 3 minutes, and you can see that the tomato sauce has really thickened up, I'm going to add in 2 cups of cooked chickpeas, which is 400 grams. And we'll season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a gentle mix, that way all the ingredients are evenly mixed together. Now, the chickpeas I'm using for this recipe are jarred chickpeas, which is the same thing as the canned ones, and I did add them into a sieve and rinse them under some cold running water. This is a very important step, that way when you add the chickpeas into the pan, they can absorb all the flavors. Once everything is well mixed, I'm going to add in 2 cups of vegetable broth, which is 475 milliliters. The broth that I'm using is homemade. You'll find the recipe on how to make it in the iCard above and description box below. I'm also going to pinch in a 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, which is 0.17 grams. You'll find a link where you can get the saffron threads I'm using from Golden Saffron in the description box below as well. And we'll add in our almond and garlic mixture that we made earlier. Then we'll turn up the heat from a medium heat to a high heat. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way everything's evenly distributed. Once the broth comes to a boil, I'm going to place a lid on the pan and lower the fire to a low-medium heat. And we're going to simmer this for about 5 minutes. This is enough time for all these flavors to come together and for that stew to slightly thicken up. After about 5 minutes, I'm going to remove the lid from the pan. And look how beautiful this looks so far, and as you can see, it has slightly thickened up. For the final ingredient, let's add in the spinach. I'm going to add in 5 ounces of fresh spinach, which is 150 grams. Now the spinach that I'm using is bagged spinach. As you know, I love this stuff because it's pre-cleaned and pre-cut, but to make this recipe, you can also use frozen spinach. Just make sure you fully thaw it out and pat it dry with some paper towels to remove any of the excess water from the spinach. And we'll start mixing the spinach around with the rest of the ingredients that we can easily wilt. Once the spinach is fully wilted, this dish is ready to go. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat and add some of the stew into a shallow bowl. Check it out, our Spanish chickpea and spinach stew is done what is known here in Spain as un potaje de garbanzos con espinacas a la Andaluza. So many incredible aromas coming out of it, very easy to make, and comes together in about 30 minutes. Let's give this a try and see how it turned out. Like I told you in the beginning of the video, this is the kind of food you want to put into your body. Here we go. Good Lord, that is good. There's so many amazing flavors with that sherry vinegar really shining through, which brings it all together, and then that thickener with the almonds and the garlic just takes it to the next level. You saw this so easy to make, comes together in about 30 minutes. Try this chickpea stew at home. You are gonna absolutely love it. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Melissa Turman, Leslie Tyson, and Alan Sanchez. Again guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon and you'd like to support the show so I can continue to release videos like this, you'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, you know what to do, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego. Another beautiful recipe, folks. I mean, this is, as always, what Spanish cuisine is all about. So simple. Looks so good. Check it out. I wish I could hear. Take a bite. Seriously, folks, try this. You're gonna absolutely love it. See you in the next video. Love ya.